Hello, welcome. I have finished my Ballou cardigan, I have finished my repurposed socks, and I have finished my crochet garden blanket. But I've also started something else that hasn't gone to plan, but it is beautiful yarn, so I am going to sort it out and turn it into a lovely project, fingers crossed. Let's start with the Ballou cardigan. So this is a pattern by Melissa. I'm going to call her Melissa because I can't say her surname and I don't want to offend. So I shall put it on the screen here. And so this is a fingering weight 4-ply cardigan. It is knit on 4mm needles, so it's an open light gauge. The actual sleeves should be shorter. I'll show you a picture of how it is. So it's much more fitted. I've done it slightly bigger for how I wanted to use it. I've knit this one twice before already. I really love the pattern, so I knew what I wanted to change for it. It's a V-net raglan sleeve, so it's got a simple raglan on there, all done in one. So you go backwards and forwards because it's cardigan with pearl stitches, but you still knit it, the sleeves in the round. So I just use short circulars for the sleeves and it's all done in one piece. You do have to pick up the stitches for the button band, and this is just a garter round here. I used Drops Nord yarn, of course I did, and this is in colour 19, which is forest green, so it's a nice natural sagey green, but it's got a bit of brightness to it, which I like, so I really like that. It is 45% alpaca, 25% wool and 35% polyamide. It's really nice and soft, so I really enjoyed this. I used 278 grams, which is 6 balls because they come in 50-gram balls. So it's a very cost-effective cardigan. This cost £16.20 for how much I used. That's with the ball price of £2.70, but you can get this on Wool Warehouse on offer quite often. So I think when I bought this, I got it on offer, and it's on offer now. This is not an ad. This is just if you're thinking of buying it, to let you know, because yeah, you can get these a lot cheaper. So it's on now for £1.90. And yeah, I use Drops Nord for socks as well. I love Drops Nord socks. So it's a really good price for socks, or if you're making a garment. So shall we take a look at the video showing you what I altered, so what mine actually looks like standing up. For my version, I've made the sleeves longer so they come past the elbow, bracelet sleeves. And I have gone for longer in the body as well, so it fits with more things like jeans and what have you, and not just dresses. I went for no buttons, so I've just got a plain garter band. I also didn't do waist shaping. You can do waist shaping, but I just wanted a more relaxed fit, once again, to go over anything, just t-shirts or what have you that don't go in underneath. So I just thought I'd have just relaxed, no waist shaping, so it just drops down. So yes, that is my version of the Ballou cardigan. Okay, let's move on to my reclaimed yarn socks. So this yarn was originally a hitchhiker, and I love the yarn, but I wasn't wearing the shawl because I don't feel these are my colours. It's a bit too pastel-y, so I wasn't wearing it, but I love this yarn. It is, and I wrote it down because I can never remember, it's by Flea Bobs and Lala. And I don't know what the colour name is, but I bought it in Yarndale in 2017, so I don't know if she's still selling it. She did have an Etsy shop. I don't know if she's got a Etsy shop anymore. There wasn't on Ravelry, the link didn't work, so I didn't go out my way, I'm afraid. But that's what it is. But as I say, it's 2017, and yeah, it's so super soft. I don't know if they're going to last very long, and apparently the yarn is merino, silk and yak, so I don't know if that's a good thing to use for socks, but they're definitely not something I'd wear in boots. I'm thinking if I get some fun out of these through the warmer months, just when, like in the evening when you've been wearing a dress and then your feet are a bit chilly, so just put these on. So lounging socks, that's what I'm going to use these for, to lounging. But they are super soft and lovely on your feet, so I don't regret using it for sock yarn, because as I said, I wouldn't have used it otherwise. I can wear it on my feet, but I just don't think around my face it works. So I just did my usual vanilla recipe, which is just from making it up as I go and sort of using different patterns for vanilla, and then just coming to what's the right one for my feet. So I like a 2x2 rib, and then a heel flap and gusset, because I've got quite high arches and that makes it more comfortable around this part of the foot. And then I do a short, like, it's quite a boxy toe, because I do short increases, so it's only about just over an inch I start decreasing, and that means I've got 32 stitches left to do the Kitchener on the end, which makes it square. But it means, because I knit mine on 2.5 9-inch circulars, it means it's just easier, so I'm not going down to so small amount of stitches, and I don't have to use DPNs because I don't want to use DPNs. So I do that sort of toe, and it doesn't look as it doesn't look so attractive when they're not on, but when they're on, they just mould around my toes and it doesn't make any difference. So I'd rather do it that way. I like to keep it simple, I like to keep it easy and fun to do, so that's what I do with mine. So this yarn, because it has got a bit of a stripe, because I didn't do contrast, I just wanted to use this yarn. I have got some pooling in different areas, one of them more so than the other. That doesn't bother me, because I actually quite like where you can see how it looks when you change the stitch gauge, and like on the heel, how that changes as well. And so I just find that interesting, so it doesn't bother me if I get pooling. I just think it's interesting to see how the yarn works, and yeah, that's how I roll. So not for everybody, but that's what I don't mind doing that. And it's, as I said, it's about the joy of knitting to me, and that's what I enjoy. So moving on to the blanket. So this is my sock scrap blanket that I'm calling my garden granny, because I want to use it in the garden, and it has been keeping me warm in the evenings as well, just draped. So it's all, because it's all my sock yarn scraps, it is all commercial dyed yarn, so it's all yarn that can go in a wool wash in the machine, because I don't want to hand wash this. But I am planning on, so I wanted it so I can put it on the seat and then wrap around me if I'm sitting outside, or if it's just my shoulders that I wanted extra, I wanted it big enough so I could just put it around my shoulders and either do knitting or reading or whatever. So yeah, it's quite big. Perhaps I should hold it back there. I'll go and walk over there and hold it up. It's this big. The pillow's going. So yeah, this is how big it is. So it's definitely blanket size. I'll move the pillow back. I've still got a big pillow because I'm still feeling it on my back from when my back was hurting. It keeps going, then I do something and it starts hurting a lot again. So, and I find this chair doesn't give me enough support, so I like that in my back. So yes, back to the blanket granny square. So I just finished it off with 5 rows of drop snored, obviously, in the goldenrod, and I thought that just made it just a bit summery, that colour. So yeah, really loving it, and it's all random. If I did another one, which I probably will, I will make my stripes. I really love how it looks there, where you've got all different colour stripes. I don't like so much the blocks, so I think if when I do another one, then I would start off and use small lengths just to start off in the centre, and so it's all the way through. It's just going to be 1 or 2 rows. I did like the 1 row of each colour. You can see where I've got variegated yarn in there. I'm not so keen on the variegated yarn either, so I think I would just use the single colour rather than the variegated. But yeah, I do love it. It's cheerful, and I find that when it's on my lap in the evening watching TV, then I am looking at the colours, all the colours in it, and thinking about the projects that I've knit with them. So yes, definitely enjoyable project. It is a bit, I'm not a crocheter, but it doesn't matter. It's a blanket, it's rolled up, or just, yeah, it's like that anyway, isn't it? It's not just flat, it's not like it's like a rug on the floor or anything, so I'm not bothered about that. I'm just enjoying using it. So that is my lovely blanket. So shall we move on to what's gone wrong? I mean, it's not badly wrong. Okay, so I wanted to knit a Tolsta Tee. I should put a picture here. Rebecca Clow, everyone knows it. Loads of people have made loads of different versions of it. It's a very basic raglan tee, which then you can jazz up however you want to do it and make it your own, which is lovely. I've made 1 or 2 before, really enjoyed it. It's very open, loose t-shirt. I have found though that I'm not wearing, I find it hard to have the right day for a DK weight t-shirt, whereas if I'm wearing a t-shirt, if I've got my arms short sleeves, then I want just a cotton t-shirt, I'm finding, as in a cotton jersey t-shirt, not a knitted one. So I wanted to make the pattern again because I love it, but I didn't want to do a short sleeve. I wanted to do a longer sleeve like this, so it's on a cooler day. So I ordered my yarn, and I have got the Drops Merino, and this is it's called Cherry, and it's a very true red. Reds always don't come out on camera, right? That looks quite good. It is a true red, so it is bright. It's more leaning into an orange red rather than a blue red. It's a warmer red, and I'd like to think this suits me. As I say, you can't see it the proper colour on there. Let's see if I can get it better. No, that's like a more tomato. No. We give up with that then. Well, if I hold it right back here. So yes, I've got these. I have got, how many balls did I get? I got 300. I got 7 balls, they're 50 grams, so I've got 350 grams of yarn, which was for the meterage of what I needed, well, guesstimated for the pattern to do that. So the pattern is for a 5mm needle. I'm sure that's what I used before, and I got gauged with a cotton. But I love how it looks, but my gauge is off. And of course I didn't do a test before I started, did I? That's why I did it when I was further down. I thought, oh, I'll do it now. And yeah, it didn't work. So I swapped it to the 6mm needles, and I think the 6mm needles are on gauge. So I'm going to have to rip this back. It's completely blown out, so you're not going to see very well. But I cast on with an even smaller needle. I cast on with a 3.5. It's supposed to be a 4mm needle, but I wanted to make sure that the neck didn't come up too big, because this pattern, the neck can come up quite big, and to the point where you're sort of tucking your bra straps in, which I don't like. So I wanted to make sure I contained that. Because I've got a small neck anyway, I can get away with smaller, so I'm not worried about making it too small. So I cast on using a smaller millimetre needle and then followed the pattern, but my variation is going to be, I'm just putting some pearl bumps in, because before I did the eyelets, and I really like how the eyelets looked, but once again coming down, then you see through, so you can see what's underneath, which is nice, but once again you've got to think about what you can see underneath. And I was thinking about doing, some people have done lots of eyelets on the front, but then you've got that also, once again, is what can you see? It's open anyway. I mean, with that, if it is round the bust area, or yeah, it's just placement really of where it's going to be. So that's why I decided I wanted to go for more the pearl bump, so it did give an interest, but I had a bit more coverage and didn't have to worry about placement of that. So yeah, that is where I am on that one. So I know I'm going to love it because I love this colour. Unfortunately you can't see that colour properly. I'll have to take, in the next video, I'll have to take some photos trying to capture the colour, but even on photos red isn't a good colour, is it? But yeah, I really love this. So I'm going to have to pull that back, probably to the neck. I've checked the neck and it is a nice size, so I'll probably go back right to the beginning, well, the end of the ribbon, and then start again from there. So it's a quick knit, so it's not, it doesn't take too long to make that much up. That is 50 grams, obviously that's going to come down a little bit further with the open gauge. And yeah, I just think it will be a nice summer weight throw on, because it's the cotton and merino. It's going to be breathable, but when it's an overcast day, you want a little bit of coverage on the sleeves but not too heavy, then I think that would be a nice useful sweater just to throw on with jeans. So that is the plan. So not a disaster, just you know what I mean, we've all been there. So yeah, I shall start work back on this, and we'll see how long it takes to do that one now on the 6mm. So I better hop to it. Take care, I'll see you next time.